It's all going to my chickens, guys. Every bit of it, I think. We'll see. They love it. See you there. Every bit of that old cabbage is going to my chickens. Probably the Brussels sprouts. Got some collards in there. All the cold season stuff. That made it through the winter. It's really gross now. It's pretty gross, guys. So yeah, we're gonna be redoing this whole area here, probably with some carrots. And yeah, carrots. I'm going to salvage anything that can be salvaged. I got a couple heads of cabbage I'm going to save in here. For the most part, it can all go as far as I'm concerned. Yeah, out with the old, in with the new. We tried to grow some Brussels sprouts one year, but that was a big failure. It's all going to chickens, guys. Except for the 2 heads I got out of there. Probably make some kraut out of it. Check it out, see what I can do with it. Yeah, that's the way it goes. Just can't consume it all, guys. What I really enjoy about the no-till gardening method is that everything tends to come up real easy. Here in Western North Carolina, the soil tends to be very clay, so you need a lot of organic matter in there, something to break it up. Using this method, I've noticed that a lot of the roots will run along the surface of the ground. Sometimes they'll go deep. It depends a lot on the plant as well. I know we had sunflowers in here that just, man, that root runs deep, guys. May do some sunflowers this year. Kicking that idea around. I know the price of sunflowers is going up because certain people aren't playing it on the world stage apparently, so expect your sunflowers to go up, and you know, wheat and grain products in general.
Hi guys, and welcome to Blackpack Homestead. My name is Morella. My husband Chris and I, he's back there doing the rows for our seeds we're fixing to sow. And Chris and I homestead here in Western North Carolina on 0.81 of an acre, and this is our garden. This is our first planting of the 2022 season. We're gonna sow some kale, some carrots, some lettuces, and I think that's all we're gonna do right now because it's like 7 o'clock and Lot's gonna be going away here in about an hour. Yeah, that's what we're doing today here at Blackpack Homestead. We're direct sowing our spring crops. So let's go over here and see what Chris is doing. Look at that man, he can make such a straight row. I know, see, I never use stringers because our garden's so, if we had a huge garden, I would use stringers. Like if it was like 10,000 feet.
Yeah.
You know, yeah. But this is so short. This is maybe, if you go all the way to the end, it's what? That's maybe 12, 13, 15 feet. Okay. Exact. Well, 16. That trellis is 16 foot. Yeah. So a 16-foot row, I think I can make a pretty straight 16-foot row.
I'm surprised how much food you can get out of a small area.
Oh, yeah.
Surprising, y'all.
Yep.
But yeah, we're going to plant some cold season stuff today in hopes that it takes. And we'll see how this pans out.
Yep. An exciting thing I found over here the other day when I was looking at the cabbages. See, here's the cabbages that were harvestable that didn't get killed by the 10-degree weather and the snow. They still look pretty darn good. Chris has harvested the rest, the ones that were like yucco, and gave them to the chickens. Chickens enjoy. They're greens from the garden. So, anyway, while we were over here, or I was over here the other day.
Look at this dirt.
I know, it looks good. I was over here the other day, and I was like, that looks like onions. No, garlic growing up here where the cabbages were. We do not plant garlic here. We planted garlic way down there last year. And somehow we have garlic right here. It could be wild garlic. We broke off a little piece of the blade and it smells like garlic. And so either we dropped a couple cloves up here, an animal carried a couple of cloves up here, or it's wild garlic. Who knows? We'll find out. Chris wants you to see this dirt. It looks good. Look how dark brown our dirt is. You must remember, we live in western North Carolina where we have red clay. And we have been adding organic matter to this garden for about 10 years. And we've been adding rabbit poop and our
leaf mulch and straw.
Leaf mulch, straw, the quail bedding, spent hay to this garden, and it has turned. See, you can see where it's really dark over here, it's turned really dark, and you can see over here where the soil is not quite as healthy. See how it starts getting lighter over here? Well, this was red clay. See, it's getting better, but down here we got some nice, rich soil. And that is what adding organic matter to your garden will do. It will feed your soil, which in turn, guess what? Feed your plants. Healthy soil, healthy plants. Takes organic matter, some manure of some sort, whether that be cold manure like a rabbit that you can put straight on, or alpaca, or a manure that has to be composted like chicken, quail. And I mean, in the wintertime we went so far as not to compost it and just put it directly on the garden because we weren't growing until the next season. And that worked out okay. Wasn't my favorite. But yeah, that's how we got this red clay to turn into this brown, rich soil. It's pretty cool. You should try it. Shouldn't they?
Leaf mulch is good too, guys.
Any organic matter is good. Any organic matter. Your clippings from your grass, put them in your garden.
We got pill bugs. Did you tell them about our purple pill bugs?
No, I didn't. Pill bugs, which they aren't good to have in the garden by any means. They will eat everything. They love strawberries, I'll tell you that right now. Not great to have in the garden, but you know, we do have them, and we noticed a pinkish blue one the other day down in the lower part of the garden. And Chris and I had watched a SciShow episode a long time ago. I vaguely remembered it, and I didn't remember nearly as much as I learned when I rewatched it. But when they get like this blue pink color, they've gotten some kind of virus that lives in the soil and it will kill them. Like if you see a pink, like we saw a pink one, I've got some footage of it. If I can find it, we'll put it in here. And that pink pill bug, other ones can have it and carry it and not turn pink, and then sometimes they turn pink. And it's really rare to see one, evidently.
But they don't turn pink. The virus makes them look pink.
Yes.
Because of the way the viruses form.
The way it lines up in the cells and refracts the light, it makes it appear that color.
And it's almost lethal every time.
Yep,
every
kills
time
them.
they get it.
Kills them.
Yeah.
Dead. So there's your fun fact for the day. Pill bugs.
Pill bugs.
Weird. You see, I got the lovely badger milk going. Yeah. Started it early today because I got the baby tomorrow. Be the first day I've kept Hattie in 3 months. 3 months. So yeah, totally excited. We're gonna do some crafts and we're gonna do some outside stuff and see some chickens. We're gonna have a great day. Chris has our seeds. Let's see what he's pulling out of the bag. Lettuce. We gotta put some kale.
I want to do the white. We always do the red kale, the
Red
red
Russian.
kale, and we got some white kale.
There's a white Russian in there. It's in
White
there.
Russian kale.
Mm-hmm.
I was very happy with the red. We actually have it.
Got a couple volunteers up here in the ramp
up here.
patch.
And if you like sustainability, kale is awesome because it just goes to reseed. And
if you leave it, you have continual kale.
with the exception of last year.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's the first year it's
I
not
was so
happened.
surprised that none came up.
Except the handful we got.
Except the handful that we got. So we're going to re-sow that. I may be surprised. Maybe it had to sit here a season before it sprouted. Forth. I may be sorry I put it in here. I don't know. We'll find out.
We'll find out.
A lot of our garden is determined by what God gives us. You know, we decide certain things will stay if the lettuce decides to stay or a dandelion decides to stay. And other times we just kind of work around it if we want it, and if we don't want it, we get rid of it. Yeah, it works for us.
Yeah,
So.
I save a lot of wild plants in my garden.
I know.
Plantain, dandelions, if I find white chickweed, just things that are edible.
Violets. Yeah.
Well, I've got enough violets in the flower bed,
Well,
so I
I'm
don't
just
keep
saying.
violets in this garden.
It's one of those things that we, you know, kind of
Covert
encourage.
gardening. It's food that nobody would realize is food. So I'm gonna go show them that kale up here that sprouted and the ramps.
All right, cool. We got ramp.
Guys, I posted on our Facebook page, which if you don't follow us on our Facebook page, Blackpack Homestead, check that out on Facebook and Instagram. We're also on Insta. But I had a memory on the Blackpack Homestead page that showed me my ramps that came up last year. If you don't know what ramps are, a lot of people know them as wild leeks. Here in the South, we call them ramps. They grow up in the mountains here in the Appalachian Mountains on a north-facing slope usually, and they come out in the spring. Well, I have let a lot of white chickweed and cress go rampant in this garden this winter, and I usually don't let it go this bad, but as y'all know, I've been sick. So, I was like, where are the ramps? Are they going to come up? Because it's really hard to get wild ramps to live at a lower elevation. They live we're probably at 2,500 feet, and they like it a little higher than that. So we're right on the edge of being able to have ramps. And so we took a chance, we planted them, they came up last year, and guess what? I posted that memory to our homestead page, and the next day we came out and I found the ramps. And in that post I said, I haven't seen them yet this year, I hope they come back. Because these ramps are special. Chris's dad and his buddy went up in the mountains and dug them and brought them to us, and we planted them. So this is like from Chris's dad, and as you guys know, he passed away this month in March, just a couple weeks ago. And so to see that ramp pop up, that was awesome. It's precious. Thinks about Dad. And think about Chris's dad, totally. So let me show you these ramps. They're hard to see because of all the chickweed and all the cress, but check this out. Oh, and here's the kale. This is the volunteer that started last fall. It's made it all winter, and now it's putting on new leaves. Now, if you go over here, you can see all of this. This is wild cress. This is chickweed, and it's good. But if you look right there, these are the greens of a ramp. And I have to be careful because I can't see them very good, so I'm going to stay over here on the edge and walk on the chickweed. But there is another one right there, a little ramp. And then there's another one right here somewhere. Up there it is. See, it had a hard time coming through. See that curly leaf? That's a ramp. And I'm sure if I stood here for a minute, I could find them all. But that's 3 of the plants, and there's probably 6 or 8 in there. And, you know, they kind of work like, you know, onions. They grow underground, and they'll multiply the longer you leave them alone. So I want a lot of ramps. So I don't really want to harvest them. I want them to multiply. Yeah, that's the ramp patch. Yeah. And you saw the volunteer kale. We're going to sow some of this white Russian. He may have done did it.
I went crazy with the butter crunch. This whole side here is butter crunch.
That's cool. That's cool.
Okay.
Those are like the oldest butter crunch seeds we have.
I know. That's why I just crunched them in there and threw them in there. Yeah, in mass. We save all our seeds, guys, and I advise you to do the same. You never know what the future brings, and yeah, it's always good to have. You can store seeds away. They'll stay for years if you keep them under the right conditions. And yeah, it's just something you need to do is get your little seed bank going.
Yep.
Yeah, do it.
Also today, which I can't show you because it's getting dark, I meant to get in there before the light left the basement windows. We got some more chicks. Chris went to the feed store today to get feed, obviously, and they had some olive eggers. So we got 4 olive eggers and another Americana. The chicks that I got previously to these, we got 3 silkies, 2 splash, and 1 black. 2 splashes died. Got what was supposed to be Rhode Island Reds, 2 Rhode Island Reds, but they're actually, I think, going to be Orpingtons, because they had Orpingtons and Rhode Island Reds in the same, what do you call that thing, bin? And I got 2 Americanas, and I got 2 Cocoa Morans. I wanted black copper Morans, because I want that really dark chocolate egg. But they didn't have them, and Marans are good layers, and so I decided we'll get the cuckoo Marans. The cuckoo is just like the feather coloring. They're not like, you know, they're just called cuckoo because they're colored like a cuckoo bird. Yeah. Got a lot of new chickens this year. See, that's 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 new chickens! Did you realize that we got 12
We've
new?
never bought a chicken. I guess we're making up for it.
Okay, because we now got we got a dozen chickens now. Dozen new chickens.
Hey, why don't you show them our compost in progress?
Oh, God.
We had fun making that video. We tried it.
We had so much fun making that video. You just never will see it because I forgot to hit record. Guys, I had this great idea. We had all of this deep bedding from the quail overwintering on hay. We did deep bedding hay in the swimming pools, and where I'd brooded this first set of 7 chicks. And Chris was like, where do you want me to put it? What are we gonna do with it? I said, I want to do a video on compost. We don't ever show making compost. I want to make compost. And Chris is like, all right, we'll get a tarp, we'll put it on there, and that way we can turn it with the tarp and it won't be as much work. I'm like, cool. So I put the I put the camera on this post right here, and I walk over here. Of course, the tarp was folded back. And I start talking to you all about, you know, we put a tarp down, da-da-da-da-da. I'm going to add the bedding from the chicks I'm brooding. We're going to use this and that and the other, and then we're going to do this. And I explained it all. Had a wonderful time. Went over, Chris filmed him putting the spent hay in the garden cart. Filmed him bringing it over here, so I thought, walked over, looked at the plum trees and the plum peach tree, showed you some herbs that had started to flower. You know, I just like talked and talked and talked. Sat down, talked to you a little bit about badger milk, you know, TPN. And then Chris is over there untangling the garden hose to bring the water over here for the final step, to water the compost. I realized as I turned the camera around that I wasn't recording, and I have no idea how long I have not been recording. So we filmed the rest of that, and I say, you know, I don't know how much footage we got, but, you know, we'll see what we got and try to make a video out of it. Guess what? The only thing I got was Chris untangling the hose and putting water on it. I was so angry. So anyway, didn't get to see that video because this vlogger didn't hit record. Okay, so this is the compost pile. It's folded over because when we wet it, we didn't want all of the liquid to go down the hill since we live on a hill. Oh, look. Oh, wow, all the water's going to run out. Woo, Christopher.
Yeah. Well, I bet. That means it's working.
That's stanky. But there it is. It's nice and wet. We probably need to turn it. But I will have to have Chris's help to do that. But there it is. My compost pile project that I was going to share with y'all. But you didn't see the beginning. But you'll get to see the finished product. And I also showed you guys the asparagus. Because the asparagus is up. And yeah, you didn't get to see that either.
Yeah, that smells right.
Yeah, that's stanky.
Look at that.
I know, that's all the juice that we kept from running out down the hill. Now it's gonna run.
Roll it up like a burrito.
Yeah, but your board to keep it from blowing away, you just covered it up. See it? So
it ain't blowing away.
well, I'm talking about the tarp blowing back, not away. So now that we've rolled it, we'll eventually have to physically turn it at some point. Yeah, but this is just good for the beginning because it's not cooking yet.
Yeah,
it's just started.
Guys, but if you can smell that, you know it's working. I mean, it's working.
Yep, it's working. Yay! And so that's the video you will never see. Yeah, because I didn't hit record. Yeah.
I got 2 rows of butter crunch, not butter crunch, but lettuce in general.
Yep.
Thrown in there.
Cool.
What do you want to put closest to the Trellis. Carrots? I do carrots. Carrots
That's
don't
what
get
I'm
very
saying.
tall.
Carrots.
Okay. We'll bomb some carrots.
Carrots.
Okay.
All right, let's go up here and do some carrots. Those cabbages are amazing. I can't believe they made it. I bought these as starts from our local nursery called Rims Creek Valley. And I can't believe we actually got to, because that snow just like desecrated the rest. Desecrated? Is that a good word? Decimated.
Decimated.
That's the word.
Now check this out. I've never bought this like.
Oh, that seed tape thing. Yeah, I never have either.
Look at that. Look at that.
Well, I told you that
Looks complicated, guys.
Well, you have to read the directions. The only reason we bought this is it's the only carrots they had. We've never used seed tape, but we thought you guys might be interested in it, some first-time gardeners. They say this makes it easier to get carrots to grow, to stay in place, and to germinate. Because carrots are classically will wash in your garden, and this is supposed to help them stay in place.
All right, now that we finally got this separated a little bit, apparently they got carrots that come in this tape. And you put the whole thing in your row and cover it up.
Yep.
I think that's a great idea.
Yep, told you.
Whoever came up with that was pretty smart.
Yep.
That's a good design.
Yep. And you just leave the paper in there and wet it just like you always would. And then, you know, the seeds sprout in the paper helps it stay in the row and not wash when it rains. So I am, for the first time, slightly hopeful that we're actually going to grow carrots.
Well, we can grow carrots,
we never get to pull them up.
Carrots are such a long season, guys. And our clay is hard. Stay. It's been very cold here in western North Carolina. My hands are cold, guys.
I'm freezing. My teeth are chattering.
We've had brutal winds.
Terrible winds. We've been like back down in below freezing in the low 20s.
Out there trying to make some compost for some videos and y'all.
It's
cold out here.
It wasn't cold the day we were doing that. It was actually nice.
It was a very nice day.
And it would have been a really good video. It was a lot of good fun.
Yeah, it had some good content.
And yeah.
Yeah, good content.
Good job, Mel. Good job.
I salute all you YouTubers out there. Everybody.
Absolutely.
Yes, guys, I'm telling you, it's a rough world out here in YouTube. And you just gotta do it, guys. You don't, you know.
You gotta remember to hit record.
Gig. Yeah, anybody that goes out there and does that and then does the editing and does all the things they need for YouTube, guys, it's hard.
We salute you.
We salute you guys.
Remember to hit record.
And all you people watching out there, make sure to hit that subscribe button too.
And
yeah.
like, share, comment. We love to talk to y'all. But no, seriously, here the carrots are. Is that the end of that thing? Here's the next one. So you can see how it gets redder in on that front row. You can really see the red in the soil in this camera at least.
Yeah, it is. There's a vast difference there.
It's a potty. You brought streamers. I'm a frost tender flower. Don't cover them up a lot.
It said ½ inch.
Oh, really?
Yep.
I never covered carrot seeds that much.
Yeah, I know. Me neither.
I'm talking.
This is their instructions, so.
Okay. I'm just freezing. I could talk to y'all and show y'all how cold I am. Hey, I'm cold. I am as much as I love winter, I love summer, but I get tired of summer really quick because I start sweating and I don't like to sweat because I melt. I love snow, which is why I like winter, because I like snow. I've had my snow. I've had my cold. Come on, spring. Spring, I am ready for you because I am cold. I'm so cold.
Maybe if you put on some weight.
I did. I weigh 110 and a half now. I weighed today. I weigh 110 and a half. Guys, TP, and I should have done this years ago because I'm like looking like myself. Y'all have never really seen what I look like. That doesn't make a lick of sense. But normally I am not 90 pounds, and 90 to 100 pounds is what I've weighed since we started YouTube. So me being over 100 pounds, 110, yeah, I look like a human instead of a skeleton with skin stretched on it. Oh man, he's a covering away now.
Yeah, I'm gonna it's in God's hands now.
Yep.
I sowed a lot of seed in there. I sowed it thick.
Yep, I like to sow lettuce thick and then go back and thin. And then you can eat them like microgreens when you thin them, you know? All right, guys, look at those cabbages. Big as your head. Yay! Hang on.
Survivors. All right, guys, I hope you all enjoy this episode of Blackpack Homestead. If you like, yay, subscribe to us. Hit that like and subscribe buttons, guys. We need it. And God bless. Until next time, the Blackpack Homestead.
Bye, guys. We love you.